Hey guys, how are you doing today? It's so good to see you, or not see you. Have you seen me, which just sounds really bad. I'm so happy to be here. Oh, have you ever had one of those days where your kids just absolutely drive you crazy? That's today. That's the day I'm having, like right now, today. That's it. So I'm here in the bedroom. I'm hiding because I had asked them a few times to be quiet to get ready to do this, and they were not being quiet. So I decided I would just come in here and hide away, and the light's actually pretty good in here. So yeah, we may have to make this our new spot where we hang out. I actually have two chairs here, so it's like we're sitting here chatting with each other. So hey everybody who's coming on, and hello to all of the replay viewers. We are so glad that you are joining us for the second in our homeschool planning series. We're doing a series of 10 Facebook Live videos over the next 10 to 11-ish weeks, depending on when I go on vacation, all about homeschool planning. And I'm walking you through all of the modules in my homeschool planning kit, Plan Your Year. And we're just giving you a little tidbit from each one, just to kind of whet your appetite and see if the planning kit might actually be a good fit for you. You can find the planning kit at planyouryear.net. And if you're new to my Facebook page, you might be wondering, well, who is this woman? Well, my name is Pam Barnhill. I am a homeschooling mom of 3 mostly awesome kids, just not today. And we've been homeschooled since the very beginning. My oldest is about 12 years old, and before I was a homeschooler, I was a teacher. I've always taught. I love teaching. Actually, I love teaching adults more than kids. But anyway, it was just something I did, and something I really enjoyed, and something I still enjoy doing for the most part. So there you go. I have 3 homeschooling podcasts. I have the Homeschool Snapshots podcast, which is interviews with homeschool moms, dads, and teens about what it's like to homeschool. I also have the Your Morning Basket podcast, which is all about morning time, how you can homeschool well and efficiently and still enjoy it at the end of the day. That's what morning time is all about. And then I also have the Homeschool Solutions Show, which is a great little audio blog, 5-minute episodes you can listen to while you're washing the dishes or folding mount laundry and getting that put away. So that's what I do. And you can find everything else at pambarnhill.com. Okay, so we're going to jump right into the content for this week because it's so much fun. So last week we talked about vision and why it was important for you to have a vision for your homeschool. And we gave you like 3 reasons, and you could still find that video on the Facebook page. Dawn, I'm going to freak you out. Could you find a link and drop it down here for us? Dawn Garrett, by the way, is my right-hand lady. And any links she drops down here for you are directly from me. So she's helping me out here, as she does every week. So anyway, last week we talked all about vision and why you need one in your homeschool. This week we're talking about goals. And I'm going to give you my number 1 best tip for goal setting for your homeschool. And this one is going to make you feel so much more successful and so much more in control of what goes into your homeschool on a day-to-day basis and whether or not you've been successful in meeting your goals at the end of the year. Now, we have a lot more really good tips about goal setting, and actually Dawn is going to put the link there for you to a webinar that we do called the Vision and Goals webinar. And Julia, you're cracking me up. Yes, to get through the year, that's my goal. John's going to drink start over. Dawn is going to drop the link to the webinar about vision and goals. And in that webinar, I walk you through how to write your vision. And I also walk you through how to write your goals. And there's like a little worksheet in there that you fill out. I even give you words to use and lots of examples. So it's very hands-on. The webinar is about 30 minutes. If you want kind of the quick and dirty version of that without watching the entire 30-minute webinar, if you just don't have the time, then I've also got a blog post that gives you some of that information as well. And then, of course, it's all in Plan Your Year. So, okay, yeah, that's what I need to do too. All right, so anyway, my number one favorite goal tip ever to make you feel like you are being successful in meeting your goals and running your homeschool, and it's this. Everybody lean really close. Goals that you set for your homeschool need to be about behavior and not about outcome or production. Okay? And the reason is we are dealing with people in our homeschools. Charlotte Mason says children are born persons, and even though today it doesn't necessarily feel like it, we are dealing with people in our homeschool all the time. Like the little one that just came tiptoeing into my room. Hurry up. Thank you. So, all the time dealing with people. And so, because of that, there are a lot of things that we can't control as much as we feel like we want to. We cannot control what level someone is reading on at the end of the school year. We can't control whether or not they've memorized all of their math facts or not. Let's say all of their multiplication facts. We can't make it so they're reading at a 5th grade reading level at the end of 5th grade. We can't make them memorize all 50 states and capitals if that's the thing you want to do, or 50 verses of scripture, or anything else. So if you sit down to write your goal, and you write a goal that is production or outcome based, you say, okay, my kid is 10 years old, and he's finishing up we're doing 5th grade this year, and at the end of 5th grade, he will be reading at a 5th grade level. You have absolutely no control over that. You could very much be setting yourself up for failure. He might be reading at the 5th grade level at the end of the year. He might be reading past the 5th grade level at the end of the year. But there's also a chance that he'll be reading at a 3rd grade level at the end of the year. And you really can't control that. What you can control are the behaviors that you do every day in your homeschool. So you have to say, if I want my child to read well, read at a 5th grade level, improve in his reading, the goal I need to set is the goal about the actions we're going to take to make this happen. So you're going to look at your child and where they are now, and let's pretend like you have one that's behind, okay? Let's just pretend that you think he's struggling a little bit and you really want him to be reading on grade level by the end of the year. Then you would do things like have him read aloud to you 20 minutes a day. That would be part of your goal. Or do some remedial phonics work, 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week. That would be a good goal for you to set. So make your goals based on the actions you're going to take to get to the outcome that you want to achieve. And then check up on yourself. So if you set a goal for him reading aloud to you, 15 minutes a day, every single day, and doing remedial phonics work with him 15 minutes 3 times a week, then at the end of 6 weeks or a quarter or a month or whatever interval you want to have, pull out your goal worksheet, which you can get at freehomeschoolplanner.net, and say, have we been doing these things? And so then at the end of the year, you can assess where he is on his reading level. But you know that you've been successful with your goal, which was to do these things, no matter where he ends up at his reading level. And a lot of times, if you're faithful with the things you've chosen to do and you do them, you're going to end up in the place where you need to be anyway. So let's say your goal is for your 3rd grader to memorize all of their multiplication facts. You cannot force that to happen. You just can't. But if you set it up so that your goal is to practice multiplication facts 10 minutes a day every school day, there's a really good chance that by the time you get to the end of the school year, if you've met that goal, that your child is going to be where you want them to be. And then if they're not, you can reassess. Is there some other problem going on? Are there some methods we've been using that aren't right? Do we need to take them somewhere and have them tested for, it's something deeper than what you can do? So that's the kind of thing that you need to look at. But you set your goal for the part you can control. It's like poetry right there. I didn't even mean to do that. Poet and didn't know it. Okay, so any questions about this particular kind of goal setting? Let me know if you have questions about that, because it's just very important to remember. So often when we think about goal setting and we talk about goal setting, we think about outcome-based goals. And, I have a business that I run, and I have outcome-based goals for my business. And I know that if I am doing the things I need to be doing, if I have these strategies, I'm probably going to meet those outcome-based goals. But my children are not outcome-based, they're just not. That's about relationships. And so I have to have behavioral-based goals for my kids. And that's what I need to be doing there. So, okay, so I saw a really funny comment. I'll never find, I think it was Amy, who was talking about, yes, today my kids will enjoy this wonderful hands-on nature project, tree identification. Nope, they pretty much thought I was torturing them. You can't make them love anything. I mean, you really can't. Now, you can try to order their affections by, just bringing it out again and again and letting your excitement for it be contagious. Do you enjoy tree identification? Is it something that you want to do, or is it something contrived that you've thrown out there for them to do while you're scrolling through Facebook on your phone or whatever? That's never going to work. You can try to order their affections by taking them out into nature often and showing your excitement for it. But yeah, you can't make them love it. You really can't. You just have to keep trying. But yeah, not a good goal. Very much so. All right, let's see what else has come up. Even when you try. Yep. How do you know it's realistic? The goal that you set, reevaluate. If you're setting a small goal, like, I'm going to have him read aloud to me 10 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that's a pretty realistic goal for a 5th grader. Actually, you should probably be doing closer to 20 or something like that, or even 30. That's a pretty realistic goal. If your child really, really struggles with reading and you've seen that it's a struggle to get through it, back off of it and do a little bit less. If you're not getting to it like you should be, then you ask, if you're not getting to these behavioral goals you've set, you probably need to realign your priorities, because you probably wouldn't have made it a goal unless it was something that really needed to happen. So you need to realign your priorities and make sure that it's happening. But I think for the most part, you just have to play with it. I think there's a lot of common sense in play. I mean, it's realistic to think that by the end of 3rd grade, your 3rd grader will have memorized all of their math facts. It's not realistic to say, in 8 weeks, my 3rd grader will have memorized all of their math facts. Maybe, but it's not really a realistic goal. So if you see that if you set a goal like that and you see that you've only gotten part of the way there, then, you may have to push it out a little farther. But make sure that whatever behavioral goal you set, you're doing it. Because you're never going to get there if you don't do it. And so maybe something else needs to be put aside and you focus on that thing that you've made your goal about. So, yeah. All right. So we've dropped a lot of links. We dropped the link to the Vision and Goals webinar for you. We dropped a link, Julia, I'm going to answer that in just a second. We dropped a link to the free homeschool planner, so be sure to go get that. This is step 2 in planyouryear.net. That's a planning product we have that walks you through 10 different steps or modules into creating your homeschool plan, and also gives you all of the printable, customizable forms that you want or need to do that. Okay, so Julia wants to know how often do you set these goals? Beginning of the year, for the whole year, or a term? I tend to do a year at a time. So I'll sit down, and I know that next year our family focus is going to be language arts. I want everyone reading well, I want everyone writing well, and I want everyone spelling well. And that's just something where I feel like we've kind of got math under control. And so next year we're going to be doing language arts. We're going to drop Latin for a while. We're going to move it to morning time and do it with everybody. We're going to, if I have to choose between history getting done and language arts getting done, language arts is what's going to get done. So that's going to be my family focus for next year. And I will make a couple of specific goals for each kid based on that focus at the beginning of the year, and we will be working on them throughout the year. My kids are older. My youngest is 7, going to be 8. If you have younger kids, like kindergarten age, or if you set a few goals for preschool, please don't set heavy goals for preschool. Just read to that kid and have fun. Then you may need to reevaluate a little more often, because, like younger kids, they change so much faster. So if you have a kindergartner or a first grader, you might want to revisit it at a semester or something like that, because they may have just blown past the goal you set for them and you need a new one. So yeah, the younger the kid, the quicker the goal might be reached and you need to reevaluate. It's always good at any turn of the term, when you're doing kind of your term review and looking at what's happened, you pull out your goals and at least look at them and reevaluate. How am I doing with this? So, okay, I'm not seeing any more questions. And I have a kid who needs my help. So I'm going to go help that kid. He's been patient. And I will be back next week. And next week we are talking about step 3. And Dawn, I cannot remember what step 3 is. I do this every single week. I'm like, what are we talking about next week? And I can't remember. I think it's course of study. I think. But don't hold me to that. But we're going in order. So there you go. But I'll see you guys back next week. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down there for us, because we'll monitor the conversation under this video and be back to answer any questions that you might have, or help you find anything you need, or respond to any comments. So you guys have an awesome Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Woo! And we'll see you back next week. Bye-bye.